yourselves to leave the prison wall. Show some love, hold each other's hands. In confidence we'll make the world a better place. Welcome to the Princess Pat Akpabio Show. On this show, we change minds and change attitude on how you perceive things generally in life. As you know, things are never what they seem to be. Well, on this particular episode today, it's going to be me and you having a conversation and chit-chatting, all right? And so we're just going to be talking about depression. We are changing minds and changing attitudes.
You are watching the Princess Pat Akpabio Show.
There's so much things that is going on in the world today that is making a whole lot of people depressed. And really, they really don't have anybody to talk to. And so I want to talk to you from my write-up on how to come out of depression. But first, before we get started, what is depression? Depression is that feeling of severe despondency and dejection. You just feel that everybody else is working against you. So it's basically you against the world. There's a point in someone's life where you just feel this sadness and you just feel worthless, no self-worth, nothing. You don't feel that anything that you're doing actually matters anymore in your family. So basically your self-worth kind of just depreciates to zero, like nothing to show for it. And then this feeling of depression could actually last you for over a week, all right? And so you begin to think that things are going on. There's so many things that is causing depression in the world today. So now you have to actually identify what is causing you to go into depression. Are you depressed because of a lost loved one? Did you just lose somebody? Did you just lose self-confidence in yourself due to some form of failure in your life? You had a dream, you had visions, you put your money into the business. It didn't work. Could it just be that you're going through divorce and you just slip into depression after you've invested so much time into it? Could it just be that it's just an emotion, you're just emotionally exhausted as a result of a breakdown in your marriage? Could it just be that your children are not doing well in life and you go into depression? Do you have someone in your family that is sick and is sipping up financial powers from you? You don't have enough money to take care of this thing. Are you suffering from rejection? Are you feeling that nobody loves you? Financial insecurity? The list of why somebody could be depressed is just inexhaustible. Now, when we've identified what is making you depressed, how do you come out of depression? Because coming out of depression takes a lot. It takes real power. It takes you having to know that, yes, I'm going through this and I want to come out of it. If you don't tell yourself the truth, you cannot come out of depression. So now, how do you come out of depression? Because I'm sure somebody that is watching right now is just saying, how do I come out of depression? What is Princess Pat Akpabio talking about? I have been depressed for so long. I don't even know what to do anymore. I am on medication. I've been taking this medication to come out of depression. How do I come out of depression? Number one, find out what is making you depressed. That's the first thing that you have to find out. What is making you depressed? Can you actually tell yourself the truth why you are depressed? When you look at yourself in the mirror, can you actually tell yourself, this is what is making me depressed? You have to identify that. And number three, is it your finances that is making you depressed? Is it your relationship that is making you depressed? Is it political? Is it spiritual? Is it rejection and reproach that is making you depressed? Do you feel that people just don't love you? No matter what you do, people don't appreciate you, or people always misunderstand you? Is that what is making you depressed? Are you being cheated on? Because, hey, being cheated on could make you depressed. And don't get me wrong. When I mean cheated on, I'm not talking about just infidelity in a relationship. I'm talking about you could be in a business transaction with somebody and you have a percentage of what you want to share, and then you're cheated out of what you wanted to share. That is being cheated on. Is it your job that is making you depressed? What kind of job are you doing? Is it too much workload? Are you just being picked on at your job? Is that making you depressed? Are you overweight or underweight? You know, it's so amazing how certain things that we look at in life, and to us it doesn't make sense, but to another person it makes sense. People could be depressed because they are overweight and they've been working on it for years and they cannot get over it. They cannot reduce their size. And then sometimes you go into a gathering, people don't want to sit next to you because they feel that you are too fat, you're overweight, so you're going to be taking up their own space, so they want to move away from you. That can make somebody depressed. Do you think that you are underweight? Some people are skinny. Naturally, that's who they are. And there's no amount of any kind of food that they eat that is going to make them gain weight. And then people are picking on you and calling you names, even as an adult, even as a child. That could make you depressed. Is your environment making you depressed? The environment that you find yourself, is that environment making you depressed? Is that environment filled with love? Is that environment filled with a lot of quarreling, fighting, and bickering all the time? That environment can actually make you depressed. Is it that environment where eating is a problem, where you eat food, you shouldn't be eating food because they feel that you are not contributing anything to it? That could also make you depressed. Now, when we have identified what is making you depressed, you are 60% to solving your problem of coming out of depression. Now, my question, or your question you might want to ask me, is what are the possible ways to come out of depression? What could be a possible thing? Because somebody said, how? Is there any way that I can come out of depression without having to take medication? Yes, on 100%. You could come out of depression just by, is it my finances that is making me depressed? If it is money that is making you depressed, find out. How much money do you have? You don't have to do 2 jobs to make it happen. Can I make extra income by investing what I have into doing something else to earn an extra income? It's not to just go back on a lot of, I'm going to get a second job. Some people are doing 3 jobs just to make ends meet. Honey, let me tell you something. Nobody knows where the ends begin and nobody knows where the end is actually going to end. It is God that has made it possible for us to have food to eat, have where to lay our heads and clothes on our back. So can you invest what you have to making money, extra income, while you're still keeping your job? You can just identify what you can do to make you generate an extra income. Do you have a talent that can give you money? Because a lot of us have so much talent inside of us, but we just haven't been able to allow the talent inside of us to find expression. And when you can allow your talent that is inside of you from God to find expression, trust me, you would make some kind of money. But I'm assuring you that you can come out of depression. It is possible to come out of depression without having to be on medication. Now you're going to be saying, okay, so Pat, have you ever been depressed? What are you talking about? Is it just something you just sat down to think about? Yes, I have actually gone through depression, and it wasn't an easy thing. I had to sit down and find out why I was going through depression. Did I take medication? No, I didn't take medication. I just sat down and I realized that a lot of things in this life that I'm worrying about is not necessary. I am the one giving myself so much problem and so much headache trying to be ahead. Let me tell you something. Everything that you're going to be in this life, you are definitely going to achieve it. But what matters is God and time. Time and chance happens to each and every one of us. Today, you may not have all that you need, but let me assure you that if you give time and be patient with God, you will achieve everything that you set out to do on planet Earth. The problem that we are facing in our lives is that we are always trying to rush and be ahead of God in everything. No, learn to walk when you should walk. Don't run when you should be walking. Don't fly when you should be running. Don't be seated when you should be standing. Ask God for wisdom to guide you in every part and facet of your life and what you find pleasure to do. That is what I had to do for myself. I had to sit down and Begin to pinpoint what I don't need. Who are the people that I have to let go in my life? Who are the people that are making me to have depression? Am I putting so much into other people and at the end of the day, I'm not getting appreciated? I had to let go of certain people out of my life. Trust me, some people that you have in your life, honey, they have no business being in your life. You have to identify what's important. This person that is in your life that is causing you depression, when you've identified this person, what value are they adding to your life by staying there? And I know a lot of us value relationships and we don't want to let go. You got to let go. You got to let go of certain people out of your life when they are not making you feel any better. Now, what are the possible solutions to the problems that is causing depression, like I was talking about? 4 ways to come out of depression. Number 1, be contented with what you have at the moment by cutting your coat according to your clothes. A lot of us, how can you have a budget of 100,000 and yet you have 20,000? Make do with 20,000. Cut your budget according to what you have available for yourself. Now, you might be used to using 3 yards to sew a pant trouser. And actually what you have is a 1.5 yard. Make up a style with that 1.5. You don't have to sew a trouser. You could actually sew a top and wear any other trouser, jeans trouser, anything, chinos on it. So that at the end of the day, you wouldn't be depressed, trying to find 80,000 to make up for what you want to do. Did you used to eat 3 square meals a day? And you can't afford 3 square meals anymore. Tell your stomach to consume only what's available. You don't have to keep saying, I used to eat 3 square meals a day. Now I cannot even afford to feed myself, honey. No, that's too much. You're worrying yourself too much. Be grateful and contented with what God has provided for you. Because, hey, you want to come out of depression. If you have 2 square meals a day, ration it. Cut your stomach to it. You are going to be just fine. You're going to come out of it. Remember, nothing in this life comes to stay. Everything comes to pass. It's a season and it's a phase. You're going to come out of it. What you cannot do at the moment, don't worry yourself about it. Allow it for God who sits in heaven knows what's going on in your life and he's working on fixing. Number 2, stop competing with others. Stop competing with people. We are not the same. All fingers are not equal. Some of us are in depression or depressed state because we are competing with other people. I want to be like, no, sweetie, be like you. Be like you. You are wonderfully, beautifully made. You are the apple of God's eyes. The only person that you are in competition with is yourself. You are in no competition with anybody. So stop worrying about competing with people. When you look at yourself in the mirror, who do you see? What do you see? I bet you see yourself. You see the real you. And it's speaking to you. And it's telling you that you are in no competition with anybody but yourself. Let me tell you something. Trust your own judgment. Somebody is wearing Prada. They're wearing Gucci. They're wearing Fendi. They have a Louis Vuitton bag. Sweetheart, are you sure it's real or it's fake? You don't know that. So why are you worrying about that, about Prada? Don't worry about Prada. Let me tell you something about Prada. Number 3, be creative with your limited resources. Make Ankara fabric your new Prada. Go get Ankara. Beautify and sew whatever style you like that befits your body frame and make that your new Prada. Make your 3-yard fabric to become your new Fendi. Go ahead, take that shoe that you bought out of the thrift store or the bend down boutique. Go ahead, put it on that shoe and turn it to your new Fendi shoe. It's gonna look as beautiful as somebody who is carrying Prada. It's gonna look as beautiful as somebody who is carrying Gucci. Now, let me tell you something. It is not the brand that makes people popular. And that's a quote from me. It is the people who are wearing the brand that makes the brand popular. Let me say it again. It is not the brand, quote, that makes you popular. It is the people wearing the brand that makes the brand popular. And that is a quote from Princess Pat Akpabio, making sure that what you have is actually enough to give you the Prada style that you want, to give you the Gucci style that you want, to give you the Louis Vuitton, to give you the Shenzhen, to give you the Rocawear, to give you the Baby Fat, whatever designer that you like to wear. You could use the new Ankara to make it your own designer. And going into acquiring of skills now to come out of depression. Now, when we have now figured out how to come out of depression and what we can do to come out of depression, acquire skills. When you acquire skills that you didn't have before or that were there in you before, it makes you a different person. It makes you a brand new person. It makes you to love the new you. It makes you come out stylish, and people be wondering, what happened? Honey, what happened is that you acquired new skills. Now, what are the type of skills that you should acquire coming out of depression? Number one, people management skills. You have to have it. It is a must to have a people management skills. And when I mean people management skill, how do you relate with people? You have to determine to yourself how you want to relate with people. Do you have to relate with them the way you were relating with them before? No, you don't want to do that anymore. Especially if it's those kind of people that are not contributing anything positive to your life. There's some weight that you should shed off yourself. Stop carrying certain kind of load on yourself. Some people are load that you're carrying. Some family members are load that you are carrying. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. Neither do they want to contribute anything positive to make life better for you. So acquire people management skills. Financial management skills. Number two, financial management skill. Learn to recycle old clothes. Learn to recycle old shoes, your weaves, your jewelry. Make them new. Be resourceful for yourself. You don't have to buy new stuff because somebody just bought something new or you saw that it's trending. Honey, no. You could make the old become trending for you. You could dismantle it and put it back up again. You could take an old bag and put Ankara on it. You can make it look beautiful just the way that you want. You could buy any other plain fabric, and put it on that old bag, on that old shoe. You could redo your weave again so that you can save some money for yourself. And number three, time management skills. You need to acquire time management skills. When we're talking about time management skill, you need to learn how to use your time and be productive with yourself. Write your itinerary down. What do I want to achieve today? So today I woke up in the morning and I said my prayers, and after I finished saying my prayers, I took a shower, brushed my teeth, and I groomed myself. And then I came downstairs and I looked for food to eat. You already have that planned out what you want to do. Do you want to write? Are you a writer? Do you want to go out and look for some form of business that you could do with yourself? What do you want to do for your day? Learn time management skills. Let me tell you something. You are your number one psychologist. You could come out of depression. You could bring yourself out of depression by how you manage yourself. You are in this life and in this world to fulfill destiny and to fulfill purpose. You are not here to please anybody. When I see people giving themselves away to thoughts of a mortal, judging them, of a mortal, talking about them, of another mortal, writing insignificant things about them, and they don't know how to handle that pressure, and they go into depression. I sit down and I wonder, why? The only person that has a say over your life is God, not anybody else. So you shouldn't worry about mortal judging you. That is also going to be subject to God's judgment on Judgment Day. Why don't you get up, get out of that depression state? Why don't you get up and think positively about yourself? Why don't you get up and worry about yourself and yourself alone for now and come out of depression? See, in life, I want you to learn to be self-full, not selfish. Now, when you are self-full, you take care of yourself first so that you are able to take care of other people. Stop putting other people's needs ahead of your needs. Honey, you are as important as that person that you were worrying about to take care of them. I hope that I have made some kind of sense and I've been able to help you to think positively about yourself, that you can actually come out of depression. I am here at any time for you to talk to me. You can inbox me. You could go to my website, www.lifewithpat.com. Leave us a message. Leave us a comment. We would respond to you. Or you could just leave us a message here on YouTube and we will respond to your messages at any time. Go on Facebook, inbox me, Evangelist Princess Pat Akpabio. I will respond to your questions, to your answer if you are going through depression. If you go to Princess Pat Akpabio on Instagram, I am there. I am available to talk to you about depression. I'm telling you that it is possible and you can do it. If anybody can do it for themselves, you can do it for yourself. Remember, after all is said and done, you owe yourself a right to happiness. You owe yourself a right to live a depressed, stress-free life. And you deserve to be happy. Your happiness is your business. It's not anybody's business. Don't depend on anybody to make you happy. Remember, when all is said and all is over, you will be accountable to God on how you spend your time here on earth, affecting life, changing attitudes, and changing minds. That, for today, is where I drop the ball for you. And that is changing minds, changing attitude. Until I come again your way on another episode, I am Princess Pat Akpabio. And as always, do take care of yourself. Bye for now.
Things are never what they seem to be. Changing minds, changing attitudes, bring ourselves to live a peace and one. Changing minds, changing attitudes, bring ourselves to live a peace and one. Show some love, hold each other's hands. In confidence, we'll make the world a better place. We are changing minds and changing attitudes.
You are watching the Princess Pat Akpabio Show.